Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Direct Sellers Podcast. Today, what I want to talk to you about is what you believe about yourself and what you believe and the energy that you're bringing to your business and how that affects your life and your business. But before we go there, I just want to say, hey, it's been a little while. I went on a Mastermind retreat and that was amazing. And then I went on vacation. So it was kind of a whirlwind 2 weeks, but an incredible 2 weeks. At the Mastermind, and for those of you that don't know what a mastermind is a group of people, like-minded people who are kind of going in the same direction that you are, building a business, whatever it is. And it was just an intensive few days where we learned and we shared and we asked hot seat questions and we got other people's eyes on our businesses. And I had so much time to think. I stayed in this hotel room that was amazing. It was amazing. I've never stayed it was like Homewood Suites, which honestly, I was not expecting much. And it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. The ceilings were so high. There was a ceiling fan in my room, which I'm obsessed with because I need like 12 fans on me as I go to sleep. Is that just me? I feel like it might be. But it was glorious. And I just had so much time to think and create and plan. And I needed it because if you know me and if you're like me, which chances are, you also need that space, that quiet, that time to think. And as moms, a lot of us are moms, or a lot of us work full time. We don't have that opportunity as much because we're always going, right? It's always like, what's next? Who needs me now? What hat am I wearing now? What's going on? And our businesses sometimes fall by the wayside because that seems to be the first thing that goes in many women's lives, to be honest, is because we're pulled in so many other directions that we tend to sacrifice anything to do with us first. That's a whole nother podcast topic. But I had this revelation while I was on my retreat. I was actually listening to a podcast episode when I was getting ready one morning, which I love to do. It's hard when I'm at home because I get interrupted a lot. But I was able to listen to a podcast and I was listening to one of my previous coaches' podcasts, and that's James Wedmore. And I don't even remember what the episode was, but there was a point that he said, I don't honestly even know what he said, but I can tell you the takeaway that I had. I had been kind of like in this low point, I guess, in my business. And I had been focusing on what I didn't have. Okay. Like just that was where I was going. That's what I was leading with. So at the Mastermind, when I was hanging out with all these other people in the group, I would lead with what I was missing in my business. I was leading with what I didn't have. And so I was kind of bringing forth this like negativity. And it wasn't that I was being negative. It was just that I was focusing on what I didn't have because I thought in my mind, like, well, if I share this, then someone's going to have like a miraculous solution to it and it's going to solve my problem. But the reality is I had the solution. It was in me. Nobody else could give that to me. So I was listening to this podcast one morning, but I had been sort of leading with this, like, oh, I don't have this, or I don't have this, or I need this, but I don't have it yet. And as I was listening to the podcast, I had this revelation, whatever James was saying, I have no idea, but it hit me. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm leading with this. I'm leading with what I don't have, but that I want. And as a result, that's what I'm creating. Yeah. So I was leading with the negative piece of it, right? Not that I was trying to be negative, but again, in my mind, I thought, well, if I tell people that first, then I'm being vulnerable and I'm being like open. But what I was doing was I was actually creating this situation because that's literally every conversation I had, I would talk about it. My purpose behind it was to get a solution. But what I didn't realize is that I was actually creating the situation myself. And I had the power within me to fix that situation. Like, duh. Why? I mean, y'all, I teach this. I teach you this. But sometimes even coaches need to be coached. In fact, not sometimes, all the time. So I started thinking, I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to say what I don't have anymore. I'm just going to expect it. It's coming. It's coming. Of course I have it. Of course I have it. Look what I'm putting out there. I'm amazing, right? Like, and I'm kind of joking, but at the same time, that switch, it was literally like I had flipped a switch in my mind. No more leading with what I don't have. Instead, I'm going to talk about what I do have and what I'm building. Massive shift. And the moment I made that shift, the moment I turned that switch, it was as if my business completely changed. I'm showing up with a different energy. I'm showing up to life with a different energy. I don't feel as depressed. I don't feel as discouraged. I don't feel as lost. When I say that it was a switch, I mean, it was a switch because I literally almost thought, I mean, it was like, what? Wait, whoa, hey, Rachel's back, guys. Rachel's back. Hey, everyone, where was I? Like, it was like I blacked out. I don't even know. I blacked out and I didn't remember. I don't know. But I'm sharing this story because it was such a powerful experience for me that I want you to hear this. Maybe I can do for you what James did for me. What you believe about yourself and your business is what you're creating. So if you're thinking to yourself, if you're saying to people, this is what you're believing, oh, you know what? No one's buying right now. No one is buying my product. Or you're thinking, nobody wants to hear about the business. Or maybe you're thinking, well, I'm sharing the business, but nobody wants to sign up. Like I'm not attracting team members. Maybe you're thinking, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I want to become a leader. I want to climb up to this point of leadership, but I can't, it's not working. Like, I don't know I've tried everything. It's not working. You're creating that situation. I'm going to let that sink in a little bit. You are creating the situation that you don't want to be in because you're giving energy to that thought. You're giving energy to that situation. And I know this might sound a little cuckoo, but it's true. I've watched it happen. I was thinking about this morning. Like anytime we create a situation in our minds and we like embrace it, that's what we're putting out there, you guys. So when you are feeling frustrated and you're feeling like your business sucks or you're tired of your business or you are annoyed at your customers or whatever, like that is what they are feeling. That's what they're sensing. That's what your business looks like. So I really want you to think about, what are you saying about your business? What are you saying about your life? What are you putting out there? Because if you're putting out negative thoughts, if you're putting out negative energy, that's what you're getting back. I was stuck. I feel like two different people. Before, when I was leading with what I didn't have, I was not an energetic, happy person. I wasn't in that space. I was kind of like in a victim space almost. I don't want to be a victim. Do you want to be a victim? I don't want to be a victim. And then when I was like, hold up, like, we're not doing that anymore. It became this new Rachel somehow. Even people that I know that I'm in contact with, you know, mastermind friends, they were like, oh my gosh, like you're showing up differently. The energy you're putting out there is so different. Because it's true. I am putting a different energy out there and people see it. And see, that's what happens. Like, think about it. Are you more attracted to someone who has, and I don't want to be like positive energy and negative energy. Are you glass half full or glass half empty? That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the thoughts and the beliefs you have around your business and around yourself is what you're putting out there. And if it's a negative energy, that's what people are feeling. That's what people are seeing. That's what you are feeling. And that's what you are seeing. And nobody likes to be in that space. Nobody. And I didn't even realize, here's the kicker. I didn't even realize I was doing that. I didn't know. I just thought, yeah, I'm going to talk about this a lot because maybe I can get some help. But the reality is I had the help all along. I just had to realize it because it was in me. It was in me, just like it's in you. And listen, I get it. There are times our business does suck. There are times when you aren't going to be getting, bookings if you're a party plan company. There are times when it's going to feel like nobody's purchasing. There are going to be times when you don't reach your goals. There are going to be times when people don't join your team. But if you continue to dwell on those situations, that's what's going to keep happening. And listen, I am not going to pretend that we don't get, of course you're going to get discouraged. And of course that's okay. But it's what you do in that discouragement that's going to determine how successful you become. Because I could have chosen, and I did for a little while, I honestly did for a couple of weeks, sat in this space of oh, I don't have this. And I don't know if I'm ever going to get this, and I might quit. Literally, this is what happened. But then when I when I flipped that switch, I was like, Rachel, shut up. Come on, girl. Pull yourself up. Because it's within you. You have the ability to make this change. So let's say you are doing a lot and you are feeling discouraged because you're not seeing the results. I'm going to encourage you. Well, number one, you're listening to a podcast right now, and hopefully this is going to help you with that. But there are times when we have to look outside of what we have. So by me listening to the podcast, that helped. For you, it might be listening to this, but it might be watching someone's training. It might be reading a book, a certain book. It might be, who knows, just be open to finding solutions to what you're struggling with, and know that you're not alone. But that if you choose to wallow in this space and you choose to lead with what you don't have rather than who you are and what you do have, even if you don't have it yet, maybe you're saying, well, my calendar isn't full. My calendar just isn't, my calendar sucks. And nobody's joining my team. I have no one to talk to about the business. There's nobody out there who's interested. If you continue in that space, that's what you're going to get. Nobody's going to be interested. But what if you start telling yourself and speaking to yourself oh yeah, oh my gosh, they're coming. I know those team members are coming. Of course they are. Why wouldn't they? This is an incredible opportunity, right? You just expect it. It's going to happen. You just have to flip that switch. So that's my advice to you today. Flip that switch. Flip it. Flip it real good, okay? Because this is exactly what you need to put the right energy and the right thoughts out there, because it is going to make a difference. And I can't wait to see you shine. Okay, my friends, until next week, take care.